we need to route the space for this charging port to go. I've measured it all up and I think I've got it close. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to route the wires, but we'll come to that later. I'm sure I can work around it. I need to set this in here, and then I need to route a recess all the way around for the tremolo cover to go. That'll sit in and sit flush. So I need to make sure I don't go so deep that I can't attach the claw, but the tremolo route is a lot deeper from the back than normal, so I should have plenty of space to play with. And also recess that enough that the cavity cover is going to go over this. Once it's started, I can always make it deeper. So I'm going to start, drill out the middle. Right, and now we test fit and tweak, because it's not going to fit first time, it never does. Nothing ever fits first time. Right. And give it another quick test. That is perfect. In fact, better than perfect. Absolutely bang on. So where it attaches, or where the wires attach to this, we've got the battery plugs in on the side. So I'm going to have to widen this slot ever so slightly here just to give access for the wire. But that's not a big problem. For the lights inside, I'm going to be using these little self-adhesive LED strips that you can buy from anywhere, Amazon, eBay, they're all over the place. They're rated at 12 volts, but I'm going to be running them from 9, so I just want to double check that this battery is going to work with these, otherwise I'll have to go to plan B. So I've connected the battery to the charging socket and the circuit board there. These wires are for your power. The white wire goes to your stereo jack, the black is ground, so for testing purposes we'll connect those together because the jack being put into the socket is what completes the circuit for the ground. So essentially it's a permanent live with a switched ground. So if we connect the black ground wire for the LEDs to there and the red live, we get light. So that works. Amazing. That's just super cool. Okay, so now I'm going to disconnect this and pop it away for now. Right. So we now need to attach these inside the body of the guitar. I've had a bit of a look and I found that you can actually peel off the rubber coating strip that you get on top of these, which is great for a bit of protection, but it's tucked away inside the body of the guitar, so it's never really going to get touched or need any of this. So I've peeled it off here, and it's much more flexible. It doesn't have the kind of spring to it, which obviously you can see the shape of this is slightly curved. The rubber coating makes it want to spring back to that shape. I don't want anything trying to pop this off. I'm going to have to do as much as I can to make sure it's very firmly attached, because I'm not going to be able to get in here to fix it if it comes loose at a later date. So what we'll do is we'll peel the coating off these ones, and probably take off some of this heat shrink here just to give us the flattest mounting possible, and then we'll have a look at how we can attach them. So I want to double check, test all of these to make sure that nothing I've done has worked anything loose. The last thing we want to do is put them in and them not work. Okie dokes. So I've tested all of these, and I need to figure out where I'm going to put them. Having 4 of these inside is built-in redundancy. If one of the strips dies, then I'm going to wire each and every one of these parallel rather than series, so that if one dies, the other 3 still work. If 2 die, there are still 2 working. LEDs have a finite lifespan. One day they will all die, but the guitar will still work. It just won't light up anymore. But until then, it's going to look cool as hell. So I need to figure out where I'm going to put them, and then how I'm going to route the wires. So for now, I think if we can aim around here. So these are going to fit nicely inside. I'm going to have to connect up some extra wires to these, wire them together, and have drill some access holes for the wiring to go into the tremolo cavity, which is where it'll just get stashed away for now, and then I can wire it all up properly later on. So I need to get out a soldering iron and do some very fiddly wiring. Well, I've soldered these 2 strips together and these 2 strips together, which means I've got 2 parallel circuits. I've tested them to make sure they work. It's important to keep testing things wherever possible. And I know that these are now going to work when they go in here. So what I need to do is find where they're going to sit, which, looking at it, having them around here looks quite good. It gives me space for the wires. I'm going to go in there. So we check on this side. I'm going to put that there. That's perfect. Right, so I need to check whereabouts, how deep I'm going to have them, check all the placement, and then drill a hole for these wires to go through into the tremolo cavity. And we can deal with that, what happens in there later on. So I'm just going to do a bit of measuring, figure out how deep I'm going to set them, and then put a hole straight through. I use the longest drill bit I can get to make sure that the angle is as shallow as possible. And now, yet more checking. I'm going to make sure that the wires are long enough to reach through before I fix anything in place permanently. However, I need to make sure I get them the right way around. I have done these with a specific direction in mind. Yeah. Yes. Now we need to stick these in. So peel off the backing on the self-adhesive strip. So I'm going to put a little bit of super glue around the ends of this just to stabilise it. Make sure it's rock solid. Definitely don't want it coming loose in here. The LED strips are now mounted inside the guitar, solidly attached. I've temporarily soldered a couple of wires on to just make sure everything worked exactly as it should. So I'm going to attach those to my battery wire, even more temporarily. There's no solder involved in this joint. Let's see what we've got. We've got light. And if I put the top on here, that looks incredible. Let's try it in the dark.